Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of my Busch Gardens Williamsburg recreation. In the last episode, we worked on finishing up some extra detailing on the outside of the park, tweaking some things, doing some cleanup here and there. And today we're looking at some of the outside the park stuff. As you can see, we have some nice parking lots ready to go. And if you watched my Cedar Point build, you know how much I love building parking lots. They're so fun. No, they're incredibly tedious to do. A lot of the same repetitive work over and over again to add the parking lot lines, putting the cars in, and all that good stuff. I will say that since that episode, there has been a lot of progress with making this stuff a lot easier to do, which is awesome. It's still really boring, and I still don't really enjoy it very much, but with a little bit more time, now we can spend some more time doing some detailing, making things look nicer, rather than just wasting all of our time putting down cars. So not sure what exactly there is to say about a parking lot. I mean, if you've seen one, you kind of seen them all. I do my parking lots all kind of the same way. You've got some tarmac path and then the steel latticework pieces for the lines. If you bury them underneath, you can just see the tops of them. Easy stuff. The tricky part is, designing them, making sure that your lines are all spaced evenly, that each slab of parking lot, each section is spaced out correctly. You've got room for every parking lane. You've got enough room for the trees that go around it, the gaps for flower beds, places for access roads, all that good stuff. Definitely a lot of planning. But I think in this case it paid off because I am really happy with the way this parking lot turned out. It's quite large, but I think it definitely does the job. It's interesting to look at, but it's not going to draw the eye away from the rest of the park, I think. So just a couple interesting details here I want to point out. As you did with Dorney, the cars here are all placed using the Ride Vehicle Editor plugin and its pincer tool to just pick a car up from a ride and put it wherever you want, rather than having to build a piece of track that goes through every single parking spot and then manually move the vehicles along that track to park them in a spot. This is thousands of times faster. I don't know how many hours this would have taken me if I had tried to do it the Cedar Point way. If you watched the Cedar Point episode about parking lots, you probably saw that I gave up pretty quickly on trying to fill in the whole lot because it just took so much time and it didn't look very good because it's hard to get the lot filled out in kind of a natural looking way. But if you can just pick up a vehicle and put it wherever you want, it makes everything so much easier. So in my build here, we've got 4 different parking lot sections, I believe, just like real life. And most people are going to be parked up here in the front one, closer to the entrance gate. Got a few cars back here in the second one. And then the third one is empty. And we got the fourth one a little bit run down, just because I don't know how often it gets used. Thought that was just a fun little detail here, throw in some overgrown grass in between some of the parking lot spaces. One fun detail I threw in here compared to my previous parking lot builds are these little lamps. So these are just roller coaster track supports with flying saucer vehicles stuck underneath them. And I think it looks pretty good. I think they look pretty cute. I think these add some fun little detail to the parking lot. And then going outside the parking lot, we have a little access road with a shuttle that goes around this little outer loop. I don't think Busch Gardens runs the shuttle anymore. A bit of a break from when I said earlier that I kind of want this park to represent the way it looks and operates now. That being said, it is a nice way to get a little bit of extra movement back here. Thought it'd be something fun to throw in to this area to just keep it more interesting. It does also stop here at these little bus stop stations. There's one back here, one up here, and one up here at the front. Yeah, I thought it was kind of fun to have that thing putting around on this little access road to take peeps from their cars to the front gate. So yeah, really happy with this parking lot. We finished up the access road that takes you to the main entrance as well, into the front entrance, the parking gate here. There is also a back parking lot back here. I think this is called the England lot. Not 100% sure how used it gets. I didn't park back here on my visits. But it's also a nice space to co-opt for a peep entranceway. There's a hidden park entrance in here, so peeps coming into the park can make their way in that way. So again, get a little bit more movement over here in this corner of the park, even though there's not a ton of it. There's still something interesting going on back here. As far as the rest of the stuff to show off for this build, So you can see we've done some work on cleaning up the edges of the park. Just like I did with Dorney, I've pulled up the black tiling so that you don't see big vertical faces where I have cut away the round edges of the park to make things look a little bit cleaner. I think it helps draw the eye towards the park instead of distracting you with those big walls. Yeah, just a few more backlots back here. I think this is employee parking, probably some maintenance buildings back here. I didn't do a ton of research on what all these buildings and parking lots were for. Just want to throw some stuff back here to fill in the gaps as always. Same thing back here with behind the Dark Coaster show building. Just some more random miscellaneous vehicles and little scenery bits in here to make things a bit more interesting. But I think that about wraps it up. Like I said, not a ton to show off. It's just some parking lots. Not the most exciting thing to build, not the most exciting thing to show off in an episode. Not a ton to talk about. But it was one of the last things we needed to get done. So I figured it was worth showing off. I am pretty proud of the way these look, so I don't mind showing them off a little bit. That being said, I think this is going to be the final regular episode of the series. There's still a lot of tweaking I want to do. Some building designs, some station designs that I want to revisit. I still want to put some stuff inside Fest House right now. It's currently empty. I do still want to do some detailing in there. Maybe make some more cutaway views for that, and probably Dark Coaster as well. Just do some general tweaking, general cleanup. And that stuff can take a very long time, because there's always a lot of stuff to do. Especially in a park this big, there's always little details everywhere that I don't notice on a normal build, and I come back, a week, a month later, and I notice some weird stuff. So I'll be working hard on that here in the future, but this is going to be the last regular episode because the next episode we'll be doing our final park tour, and you'll be able to see everything that I've done in its final version. And I'll go through the whole park again, and we'll talk a little bit more about all the builds I've done. But for today, that's going to do it. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and hope you enjoyed this series, and I'll see you for the finale. Thanks for watching.